Okay, welcome everyone to Mulder Square. We are here on Hummel Street in South Allison Hill, surrounded by blighted properties. If you look to our right, you're going to see 5 of the oldest homes in the city, 150 years old or thereabouts, dating from sometime near the Civil War, all completely dilapidated and in need of demolition. These are the 5 that are going to be demolished here starting very soon. And if you look across the street to the other side, you'll see some taller, more Victorian structures, brick, all of which can be rehabbed and are currently being rehabbed. And the combination of demolition and new construction and the rehab of solid brick structures is what you're seeing here, both adaptive reuse and new construction. Fighting blight is a very difficult thing, and it requires a lot of resources. And I'm very pleased to say that this project has had amazing partners. One of the dreams of Mulder Square was, what if we took a section of Allison Hill and we focused everyone's attention on working within that section, working within the Dairy Mulder Street area? Could we transform Harrisburg literally block by block, eradicating blight and spurring economic development? And that's what you're beginning to see here. This project here is being done by Tri-County Housing, but it wouldn't have been done without the support of the city. I should note that CDBG dollars are at use here, and those are the very same community development block grant funds which are currently in jeopardy under the current Trump administration's plans for HUD, something that we need to fight for because projects like these are expensive. It also took the support of Impact Harrisburg, and there are a number of people here from the Impact Harrisburg board that saw fit to fund this project, as well as Dauphin County, which gave funding to this project. And this project is but a part of the larger efforts to transform this whole vision. And I want to thank, first and foremost, our Executive Director for Community and Economic Development at the city, Jackie Parker. She is with us here today. It was really her vision and her inspiration to go to Governor Wolf in the last round of RCAP funding and apply for $3 million for infrastructure. We were fortunate enough to receive that award, and that money is going to go to things like streetscape, new trees, new curbs, new traffic calming measures, and streetscape designs and plaza designs. All of the infrastructure work that's necessary to bring in these other partners to come in and do the good work that they're doing. And if you look around, you can see that UGI is currently upgrading all of the gas lines along this block. And that's just a part of what's going on. Brethren Housing has done a wonderful job in the block behind us. And we are fortunate to also have the Housing Authority. I don't think Sengor has made it yet, but was trying to come. They will be breaking ground soon and demolishing properties of their own just another block away, several major sites that are going to produce literally dozens of affordable housing options. So all of this is occurring together. It is part of a vision of cooperation and partnership. It wouldn't be done without the support of all of the different layers of government and private entities all working together. And this is how we're going to take Harrisburg back. We're going to transform it literally block by block. Happy to answer more questions about it, but I want to introduce next Gary Lenker, who's the Executive Director for Tri-County Housing. This really is his project, and I think he'd like to introduce his board and talk a little bit more about what we're going to see. Gary.
Thank you, Mayor. As the mayor indicated, this is an exciting project. I came to Tri-County Housing as its executive director in August of 2014, and shortly thereafter I met with the mayor and his staff, and the vision was shared with me and what we needed to do here in this block. 11 properties were identified for us to acquire, including the demolition of these 5 units. They will be replaced by 4 new townhouses or row homes. As the mayor also indicated, we're rehabbing actually 3 different properties across the street. May I say they're all for home ownership. and then we have 2 other properties yet to acquire. So it has been a long and arduous task. I did not realize, what is involved in the acquisition of these properties and what it needs to get it to the next level. But I will tell you, Mayor, as I have told you many times, the sign of a good leader is one who surrounds himself with very competent and capable people, and I've had the pleasure of dealing with your senior staff on a monthly basis. We meet to discuss the Mulder Square project and what needs to be done, and that's not only Jackie Parker, but Roy Christ with the Department of Housing. I see Brian Davis with the Redevelopment Authority, and Wayne Martin, the engineer. I don't see Jeff Knight of the Planning Department, but we meet monthly, myself with the staff and Sangor Mans of the Housing Authority, and address issues that need to be taken care of to keep this project moving. In addition to the city funding that the mayor indicated, I do want to acknowledge the Dauphin County Commissioners. They did provide a $75,000 gaming grant to this project for the demolition, and I know although they were not able to be here today, we have from the Economic Development Department Bob Wazalowski and Deb Loudenslager, and obviously Impact Harrisburg. They provided us with a $350,000 grant. I see Mr. Hill and several others here from the board, so we thank you very much. And many other partners. Brethren Housing, which is right down the street, Crystal Baxter Brown, who serves on my board, is the executive director. I see Gloria Vasquez here with the Latina Hispanic Center, and they have all been very supportive. And other folks, we have a number of lenders from the area that provide support to us. I see Fulton Mortgage here, and I think that the M&T was also supposed to be here. I would be remiss if I didn't acknowledge the Board of Directors of Tri-County Housing. We have a very rich history of working in the city of Harrisburg. We're 27 years old. Our work is also outside of the Harrisburg and Dauphin County and Cumberland counties, but we have created several hundred units of affordable housing here in the city during the year since its inception. And I'm fortunate to have a very active and committed Board of Directors. Some are standing behind me. I see Billy Burston, Ray Spencer, Steve Turner, who's one of the neighbors in the community. I see Shirley Blanton, who is the president of the South Allison Hill Residents Association. Who else am I missing? Do we have other directors here? But we have an 18-member board, and part of that under the requirements by HUD is that we must have 6 folks from the community. So we actually have community involvement in our board of directors that gives us input in moving forward in these projects. So you had heard earlier the bulldozers in the back. There's a lot involved in the staging of a project like this. There's a number of trees and a lot of brush in the back to remove. There's actually trash to remove from the inside of the structures. The physical raising of these buildings will probably be Monday or Tuesday, but we're well on our way. And I just have to say again, just alone in the State Historical Preservation Office approval, what an arduous task. And again, the mayor was very involved in his staff to make that happen, that we were able to get that approval to be where we're at today. We still need money for this project. We need lots of money. This is a $2.25 million project that our organization is involved with in this block. We're lucky to have Senator John DeSando with us here today, who I'm going to be introducing shortly. My board president, Rob Keith, who was not able to be with us today. We just visited with the senator and his staff a few weeks ago to discuss an RCAP application to the Office of Budget, and we have submitted a $1 million application to that, and we're hoping that we'll have some assistance by the senator's office in that regard. We've also spoken to Representative Patty Kim, who oversees this area, and she will hopefully be assistful to us in that. So I will entertain any questions afterward, but at this time it's my pleasure to introduce our state senator, John DeSanto. John?
Good morning, everybody. I'm very happy to be here. Although I was not in office when this project started, I'm happy to be a part of it in any way that I can as I start my term of public service. In the short time that I've been here, I've developed a wonderful working relationship with Mayor Pappenfuss, the Dauphin County Commissioners, and coming from the private industry, I understand the importance of housing to making a community successful, not only for the families, but it is a tidal wave that can change a community. I've been involved in Harrisburg with Habitat for Humanity since its inception over 20 years ago. And I'd known Gary Lanker probably for 30 years in the private industry, and I think Gary brings a great skill set to the development project, and I am just looking forward to doing whatever I can do with the state level in the forms of regulations and grants to keep Harrisburg on the move. So thank you for having me, and I look forward to continuing my service. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator. I'm being advised.
I may be able to advise you with this.
By a professional that if we go for the corner of the step, this should be good. And again, 150-year-old building.
Yeah.
We can hit it right there.
Yeah, just try to break it off.
All right, are we ready?
We're supporting you on this one, Mayor.
Oh, yeah! There you go.
There you go, sir. Come on.
All right, good. Gary's next. We're going to have to save the professional for last.
You got it. The lucky sledgehammer.
Okay. Oh! All right, hit the other
One more,
corner.
get the end.
There you go. All right, good enough. All right.
Senator.
Has everybody got this? Because I have a
Yeah.
very serious reputation to uphold here for those of you that were at the Salvation Army.
It's like,
I'm
no,
going to swing and hit the tree, too.
we're gonna put that on camera.
You ready? Okay, here we go. Oh, hold on.
Dollars and cents. How much is this project costing? Just this on Hummel Street.
Just this on Hummel Street, $2.25 million. It's expensive. We're tearing down 5 houses. You can see behind us. We're also renovating the brick homes across the street. It is not a project on which you can make money. In general, I was just talking to the guys across the way. They're going to spend like $150,000 a unit to fix up those units, and they'll be selling them for half that, if anything. This is affordable housing. That's what the commitment is, and it requires help from private foundations and also government subsidy.
So how many, I'm sorry, so how many across the street?
3 across the street and 5 here.
And that's all included in the money you were talking about?
Yes.
Was that just for, so it's, the money is for demolition and renovation?
Acquisition, demolition,
Yes.
rehabilitation.
All of the above, and the hope is that these will be affordable homes for people to purchase. And I know that Tri-County Housing has a variety of options. You can lease to own. They will work with the buyers to get them in here.
And there's also $3 million I heard that is being devoted strictly to infrastructure in this area.
That's right. So in addition to the $2.25, which is just this project, the city received a $3 million grant for infrastructure, for sidewalks, for traffic calming measures, for trees, for new curbing. And as you can see, the streets are being dug up. As we speak, we have some paving going on over on 13th Street. We have plans for a new precinct, police precinct on South 15th Street. This is basically a manifold of efforts from all the different departments of the city and the private sector all coming together to help focus on one particular area of Mulder Square.
This has been in the works now for a couple years, basically
has.
securing all the funds and the planning and all that stuff. How long do you expect this to last? Like, do you have a projected end date of when you want everything to be finished by?
It's going to take years to fully transform the neighborhood, but you're going to see dramatic changes just in the next 12 months alone. First of all, the demolition on these are going to start on Monday or Tuesday. Then the Housing Authority, which we haven't talked about today, but they're doing over 40 units of affordable housing just a block over, and their demolition is also going to begin this summer. That is also going to be new construction, and people will begin to see it. And we believe once the new construction begins, that will attract additional investment. The city hasn't stopped working with all of its partners to try and bring attention to this particular area.
Whenever there is talk about revitalizing Allison Hill, it is met with a skeptical eye because it's been years since Allison Hill has looked the way it did, back in the 40s or the 50s. How do you respond to the skeptics that say, yeah, okay, this is all talk, but I'll believe it when I see it?
This represents a new strategy for the city. In the past, our economic development strategy was scattered throughout the whole city. It wasn't as effective as it could have been. We've taken a much more consolidated, focused approach. We've defined an area. We've asked all of our partners to work within that area. We're working on upgrading our police patrols and our precincts within that area. We are focused. I think that is going to pay dividends, and that is going to show change in a way that in the past we weren't able to do it through scattered site development. This project is very real. It is happening. Not only is this $2.25 million just about to begin, and the $3 million has been secured by the state, and the millions that are coming in from the Housing Authority, all that is definitely happening. And what you're going to see is you're going to see other developers want to come in and say, I'm going to fix up that building, or I'm going to fix up that building, because they want to be part of this exciting center of development.
What good is that going to do, though, if the crime doesn't stop in there?
Well, that's why we have a new precinct plan for the city. We absolutely agree with that. It all has to start with safe streets. Chief Carter and I have planned a precinct. It is currently in the development bidding stage.
And
it's going to be on,
yep,
South 15th Street. It's considered part of this Mulder Square area. The police will muster there 24 hours a day. They will be based there. They won't be doing roll call in the downtown. They will get to know the neighborhood. All of the saturation patrols and the walking patrols will emanate from that precinct. And that's a part of it. So this focus has the complete cooperation of police and public works and economic development, as well as all the private partners like Tri-County Housing.
And what is considered Mulder Square? Like, if you can kind of block it out for us, just because when I heard Mulder Square, I was thinking just the intersection. Obviously, that's not the case.
Mulder Square is the area of South Allison Hill just after the Mulberry Street Bridge. And it was really the renovation of the Mulberry Street Bridge, which, and those millions of dollars of investment that sort of spurred us to consider this area. I like to think of it as bounded by two of our key neighborhood institutions in Harrisburg. We've got the Boys and Girls Club on the one side, and we've got the YWCA on the other side. And we feel that those anchors, as well as the connection of the bridge to the downtown, all of that allows for this particular concentrated area, I think, really to flourish.
So again, these 5 are going to become 4 townhouses, correct?
That's right.
And the $2.25, is that included in creating those, or
Yes.
do you need more money?
Yes, acquisition, demolition, and the building and renovation. And when you think about it, that's it sounds like a lot of money, but honestly, these are a lot of different homes that are being renovated, and it's a very expensive process. If you look at what they're doing across the way, it's a complete gut and redo. It's not something that is at all easy to do or inexpensive.